Chiku, where are we going? Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a while, but I'm finally here, back with you all. So let's see according to Chiku if we'll reach snow or not. So after acclimatizing in Leh for few days, we went ahead to Nubra and Pangong and other places. While leaving from Leh, first thing that comes in our way ahead was Khardungla Pass, which is also one of the highest motorable passes in the world. It is around 2-hour journey from Leh to Khardungla and it is about like 70 kilometers. We left early around 8 am in the morning and while moving towards the Khardungla there were the Kacha roads that were there. So the journey was smooth sometimes and sometimes rough. But the landscapes on the route were amazing and they catches all the attention. While we moved forward, there was some construction work that was going on the road. So there was a halt of around 30 to 40 minutes. So be prepared and have some extra time in your hands. Within few minutes, a number of cars behind joined and there was a long queue that was waiting there. Meanwhile, we clicked some pictures and used the time. Then we continued our journey and moved forward toward Khardungla. Most of the Khardungla road journey was off-roading and it was like traveling from one mountain to the other. It also has another route but it is totally Kacha Rasta and has not developed properly, so it is not used that much. Some kilometers before Khardungla, you have to stop and take the permit for the traveling, but for the defense personnel, it was not required. As we were moving towards the Khardungla, the snow becomes visible and we were hoping if we got to see more snow or not. Before Khardungla, we stopped by the North Pulu, which also have some photographic point. So we get out and click some pictures and enjoy the view from there. So as we moved toward the Khardungla, the mountains seemed snow-capped and as we reached Khardungla, there were snow-covered mountains all around. Khardungla top is at 17,892 feet and if you are not properly acclimatized to this altitude, then you may have to face some breathing problems at such a high altitude. The view at Khardungla was amazing and the mountains were covered in snow and the view was looking amazing due to these colorful flags. It is advised that you should not be spending more than 20 to 25 minutes at the Khardungla top because the oxygen levels are around 50%. We acclimatized in Leh for 5 to 6 days and we spent around an hour over this top. But we were fine and didn't face any type of issues in breathing. Khardungla, there was washroom available, some food options were also available over there. Also there was a military setup that was providing oxygen and tablets and treating the person who was suffering with high altitude sickness. So if anyone is traveling and face such kind of situation at this place, can definitely visit this setup and get the treatment done and take some rest. And there was this visitors book that was maintained by the army and my husband is just engrossing his experience over Khardungla. After Khardungla, we left further for our journey and as we move further, the snow increases and there was a point where people were enjoying and playing in the snow. So as you know, Chiku's wish to play in the snow came true, and we all get down and take him to the snow, and where he enjoyed. There was also a fast food truck that where you can enjoy some food and can play in the snow. But at these type of points, at this time of year, the snow was melting, so it was a bit risky to get up to the snow because it was very slippery. And meanwhile, while coming down, I got slipped into the water, and due to that my shoes become wet. And as soon as I reach the car, I remove my shoes and take off my socks and let them dry in the sun. So be prepared for each and every type of situations while you are on these kind of trips. After moving a little, we stopped by to grab some food. You want sandwich? And you have a friend over. And there he got his furry friends to whom he fed some aloo paratha. After finishing our food, we moved forward and we stopped by a river stream that was flowing by the valley, and we couldn't resist but to go there because it was looking so beautiful and the water seems so clean and pure. The scenic beauty and the beautiful landscapes were all around the Leh Ladakh road trip, and it was really beautiful and different from the rest of the places that I have earlier traveled. So wherever you stop, you find the place amazing only. For someone like me who loves natural beauty, natural landscapes, mountains, rivers, Leh Ladakh is a must. One should at least visit once in their lifetime. After a quick break of scenic beauty, we continued our journey further to Nubra Valley. Like the scenic beauty kept on changing in Ladakh, the roads were the same. Somewhere they were kacha, and at some point they were like fully paved roads. So yeah, it was mixture of both. There you will see the crystal clear blue sky and the white cloud shining through them, and you will notice that it is more open and the visibility is like very much as compared to our regular cities, and you will feel the openness around you and nothing is congested over there. Nubra. As we reached near the Nubra Valley, in between we saw a huge waterfall that was coming up from the mountains, and it was really very high. On seeing that, I become so excited that I get off the car to see it properly, and then I really checked it out that where the water is going. Then I saw that it is going joining the Shok river that was flowing in the valley. The natural beauty of Leh Ladakh is not fully justified on the camera. It is way more beautiful in real. While keeping an eye on the landscape near and around, we reached the Nubra Valley, and in Nubra we stayed at Thois. Nubra Valley is about 160 kilometers from Leh, and it is all surrounded by mountains. Nubra Valley is also meeting point of Shok River and Nubra River. After reaching the Nubra Valley, the first thing that we did was to go to Hundar sand dunes. It is white sand dunes desert, cold desert actually. Hundar is situated on the banks of Shok River. It is like a big ground with white sand dunes, and here you can enjoy double hump camel rides. The vibe of this place was really really good, and the moment you entered this place you will feel a happy and positive vibe, and the music was playing around. There were so many people that were doing different activities were there, mostly double hump camel riding, archery, and the ATV rides and many more. So yeah, it's a great place to be here with kids and enjoy with the full family. These camel rides will cost you in between 400 to 600 rupees per person, and it was really really good as we did it, and you will feel really nice walking in the white sand dunes among these beautiful mountains, and the valley landscape was really really good. Hundar village is part of ancient silk trade route in Ladakh. This route was connected with East Asia and Europe. The route further passed through Kashmir, Tibet, and the trading at that point of a time and the traveling was done on these double hump camels. At that time they were used for trading, and now they are used for tourist attractions. After camel riding, Chiku enjoyed some archery with his father. Hundar is a must visit place in the Nubra Valley. After all the activities, we went on the sand dunes, and it was really great and felt good to play in the sand around. And as the sun set, the place looks much more eye pleasing. So we ended our day one with this Hundar visit, and it was a good day, and we went back to Thois and then continued our journey next morning. So it was day 2 of our journey, and today we are going to Tutuk and Thang village, that is the northernmost village of India. So we left around 8 am in the morning after having breakfast. From Nubra Valley it is around 4-hour drive to the Tutuk village. From Nubra to Tutuk the landscapes were amazing, and you will really feel that Ladakh vibe on those roads and the bridges that were there. As the bridges are made between the mountains and the area is really sensitive, so only one vehicle was allowed at a time, and the road further was like carved out of the mountain and will definitely give you vibes of that scary roads that were there in Ladakh. I'll share some of the landscape shoots in between to let you know around. So if you wanna skip, then you can skip and go forward. This typical landscape was favorite out all of those, because the mountains here were like brown and reddish in color, and when you get out of the car and watch the surroundings around you, it really feels surreal and they feel really huge. And as you see around you, you see huge mountains, and these are really barren mountains without any trees. Now you can really see the mountains of Multani Mitti, where the Multani Mitti that we use in our face packs and all of that. The area from here to the Tutuk village was captured by the Pakistan, and it was regained by the Indian Army in the war of 1971. Earlier, the Turtuk village permission was not permitted, and also before the war of 1971, this area was under POK and was controlled by Pakistan. These are old wooden bridges, and the river flowing under this bridge is Shok River, and it really gives scary vibes as you walk on these kind of bridges. After 4 hours drive, we finally reached Turtuk and then Thang village. From Thang, you can literally watch the India and Pakistan border along with the parts of POK. In Thang village, you are actually under the surveillance of your enemy, and it really feels different to visit such places. You will also feel proud that once it was all captured by Pakistan, but Indian army fought back and gained it all. Shok River flows in the valley, and on the Shok River bank there is this village Thang, from where you can clearly see the POK region and various posts. Thang is on the banks of this Shok River, and which is flowing into POK from India. After we visited Thang, we went to visit Zero RD, the last military post of India, and that was directly opposite of the village Thang, and it was not open for all the civilians, but defense personnel can visit the place. Video recording of the indoors was not allowed, so I am sharing these pictures. After visiting Zero RD, we were going back to Thois, and meanwhile in our road our tire got flat. So yeah, it's Leh Ladakh, and be prepared for all the situations. So meanwhile we were just changing it to the Stepney. Due to lack of oxygen here, doing these kind of physical things will make you tired very easily. While going back on the bridge, this donkey seems to escort us to the end of the bridge, and while it reaches the end of the bridge, he turns back and goes around. Funny and strange things keep happening on these type of trips. That day we again went to Nubra Valley, enjoy our time, and then went back and sleep and get ready for the next day. And it is day 3 of our journey, and early morning we left from Nubra Valley to Pangong Lake. And we are going to Pangong Lake. When we visited Hundar, Chiku really wants to do this ATV ride, but it wasn't available on that day. So today, while going from Nubra Valley, we finally got a chance. We are getting his hands down on the ATV.
Are you happy now?
This is the same place where Bhag Milka Bhag shooting was done when he was running and doing all the practices. So this place is famous as Bhag Milka Singh Bhag Point. While we covered our journey further, we get along the route that we imagined the Ladakh's road would be. It was fully covered with the water and it was really problem for the bikers. After having a quick breakfast, we again continued our journey towards the Pangong. The current Pangong road route from Nubra Valley to Tangse, most of the road was under construction and was rough, and the road was diverted in between the villages, and you have to literally drive your car out of on a river bed, and it was totally rough. It was the actual Ladakh terrain that we always imagine. No matter what the road conditions were, but we really thoroughly enjoyed our journey and have fun along the drive. This is the Shok River that comes to your way until a very long stretch, and it was a location where people just getting down out of their car and enjoyed the scenic beauty at its best. The water was really cold, but it was a good spot to have and click pictures. This was the another epic road that we have seen, and it was fully covered with water. We don't know where the road was going, so it was like going blindly in the water until we saw a route. So yeah, this kind of terrain will definitely surprise you and will keep you amazed to see what comes next. I really love decorating these dry grass around the house. Earlier, when I went to Bhadarwa, I also picked some of them from there, and they are still with me. So, yeah, this time also I grabbed this opportunity and took some. I told you we enjoyed this route thoroughly. After we crossed Nubra Valley, there were no restaurants and or food outlets where we can have something, so we were just snacking upon the snacks that were available with us. While traveling such places, we should keep something handy to eat so that you can eat whenever you want. In Ladakh, there are so many water sources that along the route you see various water bodies and which are coming from here and there, and you don't know where they are coming from, just there is water all around. I'm sharing some along the route clippings, so if you wanna move forward, just click and move to other part of the video. So finally we reached Tangse. We have our room booked in Tangse. So from Tangse, after having lunch and changing, we left for the Pangong at around 3 p.m. It is around 2.5 hour drive from Tangse to Pangong Taso. This is the Tangse to Pangong road, and the road till Pangong is amazing, and it is a really paved road, no rough road is there. So yeah, this one is good, and you can also see the shooting of this road in movie that Jab Tak Hai Jaan. And we were really excited while we were going to Pangong, because Pangong has such a hype after we have watched in the movie of Three Idiots and various other movies. So yeah, we were really excited to see the lake in person. This was the first glimpse of the Pangong Lake that we saw, and we really became excited to see the whole lake. And within few minutes it was here, and the lake was looking serene. It was, I can't believe my eyes, it was totally blue, and it was in the shades of blue and green, somewhat green somewhere, and it was really big. As far as I can see the lake, and it was really beautiful and beyond pictures. Pangong Lake is at height of more than 13,000 feet, and it is 134 kilometers long, and approximately 40% of the Pangong lie in India, more than 50% lies in China. Pangong Lake is the highest saltwater lake in the world. When we reached Pangong, it was really lively, and at that time the weather was feeling pleasant. Strong winds were blowing, but it was okay. So when we went there, I tried and tasted the water, that how it feels, and it was brackish in taste, not very salty, but not fresh water too. The place really felt very lively, and there were various props that you can use for the photography and sit around and enjoy the scenic beauty. As the sun sets, the wave becomes louder, and it was feeling really peaceful to sit there and watch the sun going down. And also, the oxygen percentage at Pangong was around 49%, so it is advised not to stay very long over there. As the sun is setting and the sunlight dims, the chill starts to feel, and it is getting really cool. So yeah, proper clothing is required at the time of sunset, because it gets really very cold with the chilled winds. My husband wants to go and try and walk in the water, but it was really cold, and he could not bear it for more than 5 seconds, and he had to come back. We all enjoyed the evening in our own ways, and it was really fun to be there, and the lake was really mesmerizing and serene. As the sun was setting, it was becoming more beautiful, and there were birds around the lake, and that were making it look much more beautiful and cheerful. So it was worth to go and visit the Pangong at least at once. This is how we spent our day 3 in Pangong, and we were really tired at the end of this evening, and we went back, have our dinner and sleep. Next morning we woke up and we were ready to leave the Tangse to Leh. way back to Leh, we stopped by every location that we felt beautiful and can't resist but get out and take some time and sit there and enjoy the view. This way, I think we lived this trip to the fullest without any hustle. Ice cold water. So next we stopped by this frozen lake, and my husband and Chico really wants to try and check how strong this snow cover is, and both of them were just throwing stones over it to see if it cracks or not. Chico also followed the same and continued till he achieves. Doing these kind of fun things in between the trip make the kids love the traveling, and otherwise in such long trips they tend to become and cranky. So yeah, it was fun to be there with him. We have to go from here to there. As we moved forward towards the Changla Pass, saw a huge lake that was completely frozen, and there were a lot of tourists that were playing over there. So yeah, we also decided to get down, have a cup of tea and go and check it out. So yeah, after that frozen lake, it was this, and this was completely frozen, and we could play, run and check it out. So yeah, it was a different experience and we were really happy. As we move towards the Changla Pass, as the altitude increases, the snow-covered mountains also increases, and the view becomes absolutely mesmerizing, and it was all white as far as we can see. Changla Pass is at a height of more than 17,000 feet, and the oxygen available here is around 50 to 51%. So yeah, but the view from this pass was amazing. It was all white and snow covered. There was this point of Changla Pass, and also there was a temple that I visited, and it appeared really white in the white snow. These colorful flags seemed so beautiful, and it was really peaceful with the aarti and the devotional songs going on at such height. So altogether it was good vibe over there. While coming back to Leh, en route we have this Rancho school, just half an hour drive from Leh to this school. So we stopped and so we stopped by the school and have a look around, and it has got the souvenir collection and some fun wall paintings that you can click pictures and have a tour around the school. It was a tourist place, so yeah, there were many tourists just checking out the things and enjoying. It was a fun place to go and check out with the especially with the kids, and we took around half an hour to visit the whole place and then leave for the Leh city. So guys, this was my 4-day vlog from Leh to Nubra to Pangong and then back to Leh. I hope you like this video, and if you do, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Mom.